when you're in, you should probably mute your microphone so that we don't hear background noises, and we'll do the same. And if you want to intervene, if you want to talk, you can raise your hand with the icon on the left of the camera you see on the participant.
If you want to say something.
And you can, I think the best way to ask questions to our experts and to ourselves is to write on the chat. It's 3 of us here from Brussels. There's myself, there's Anna here on the left, and there's also
Hello everyone.
Tomislava on the right. So we are a big team. We can handle all your questions on the chat.
So it's better to write your questions on the chat so they will be able to answer later on, because during the conference they can't really answer your questions. So write them on the chat. At the end, we will answer all the questions.
Okay, good. Right, so we don't want to be rude, but we will sometimes mute your microphone ourselves if we hear background noises. If you want to talk again, don't hesitate to raise your hand, and again, write on the chat, which is most likely the best way to do so. I'll say just a few words on this, on the contents of this web. Then we will start with Lilia, which is our expert today. So I'm for European Schoolnet here in Brussels, and with Tomislava and Nair and Kriti, we managed a learning event within eTwinning in the last 2 weeks, and we had a lot of fun and with a lot of activities with about 170 teachers around Europe. Innovative techniques and practices to teach how to code and programming skills and digital competencies. So we also organize as the last activity of the learning event dinner with a person who has and is working with digital competencies, which is Lilia Villafuerte, our guest today. And we want to explore with her how creativity and social commitment can be embedded in a career which exploits digital skills and competencies and programming knowledge. The topic of today. We will just show you a very short presentation on the eSkills for Jobs project, because this may be relevant for you as well as students and as teachers. And this is done by Anushka, which is here with me. Then we'll go with Lilia to hear what her job is, and hear how exciting it can be to have a career in ICT. Of course, we will open the floor to all your questions and doubts. So feel free to intervene and just share with us your thoughts. So I'll floor now to Anushka to a quick presentation of the eSkills for Jobs project.
So my name is Anushka, and I'm project manager for the eSkills for Job campaign. So this is a campaign for the promotion of eSkills or digital skills, if you want to call them this way. So basically, the campaign is addressed to youth, young people, and the aim of the campaign is to promote the idea that e-skills are fundamental in today's society. So basically, the majority of jobs nowadays require some kind of ability in the use of technology, and the aim of the campaign is really to make especially young people, but not only young people, but especially youth, aware of all the employment opportunities that there are with the use of ICT. So basically, I know, and everyone knows, that young people use technology, but the majority of the use that is done in technology is for entertainment, let's say. So, this is very good because it implies the development of some specific digital skills. We also think that many people are still not aware of the fact that working with technologies can be interesting and motivating, and especially in a time of economic crisis as today, we recognize the fact that companies and business look for people with specific and advanced skills in ICT, and probably part of the current unemployment could be solved if young people engaged a bit more in developing their ICT skills. So, what is there for you? Well, there are lots of resources. We have a repository of good practices, and you can find resources on training opportunities that there are for young people. There are teaching resources for the development of e-skills or digital skills for young people, and you will find sessions also on how to find a job in the ICT profession. And we are also developing, but this is in process, examples of people who found a job thanks to training on ICT. And then the last thing I would like to start running within this campaign a series of competitions, and one is addressed to young people between the age of 16 to 30. And this specific competition is called CODA, and the aim is to through a game that we developed, you can see the link there in the presentation, to create an animation using coding. I mean, it's very, very basic coding. You do need to be able to code to produce this video, and produce a video of 1 minute 30 seconds maximum. So to show that through this game you learned how to code in a very simple way, let's say. And there are prizes offered for those participating to this competition, among which tablets, a trip to Berlin, and a trip to Luxembourg. So if you want to try it off and submit your video, you're very welcome to do so. And that's it. I'll leave the floor again to Tommaso and to Lilia. Thank you.
Thank you, Anushka. So you see, you have already an opportunity to get engaged in the campaign and try to combine creativity with some technical skills. I also encourage you to take this challenge. And I think now we can go to Lilia to hear a bit about what she's doing and what is her key message for all of us today. And Lilia is really, I think, can really show us how we can combine creativity and technological skills and make something beautiful out of that. So it's yours. You can share also your screen if you want to show a bit the website.
First, hello to everybody. Good morning. Thank you for here with us. Well, as you know, my name is Lilia Villafuerte, and I'm not an engineer. I study media. I used to do filmmaking and documentaries, and I have my bachelor degree in media and studies. But from the beginning of my career, when I was at the university, I really liked computers, and I was taught about how to use computers for doing media, for doing edition, for doing post-production. And when I moved, because I'm Peruvian, I moved to Spain to live there. I started to working in technological things of audiovisual, like doing animations and controlling some videos and some working for some artists. But the difference between working on creativity and working and start to learn about programming, it was because it was simple for me. I had to work with something called After Effects. After Effects is a software from Photoshop and all these things, but this software is created for people that want to create animations like a movie, like movies and everything. When I started to work on it, and I discovered that I can program some things and I can work with less hours and doing faster things, like for instance, duplicate elements in the screen and give different behavior for different elements on the screen. But at the time I was working for some people in Spain, and they told me if I learn programming, I can earn twice my salary. It was that thing. I say, okay, cool. I learn programming, I will earn twice. And I say, okay, and I start to learn by myself at the beginning programming, and I start to work with action script and things like very simple things in order to do like more animations, because I was working with animations and coding, and I start to work with video on internet in that years, and it was like always working with that way. And I have like some, I have worked for different people around the world, and work in programming and learn programming, but connect the programming with visual creativity like videos, pictures, or draw. Put in the market very easy. Because you have a career in visual communication, or you have a career in creativity, there are thousands and thousands of people that every year they are out of the university, and it's very difficult to compete with them in order to get a job, and a project that you can earn a lot of money, or you can have a lot of freedom. What I have learned in my life is when I start to learn programming, ActionScript, this is very old or large, but ActionScript or JavaScript or on anything. First thing is that in the moment I start to learn programming, yes, in the moment, perfect. In the moment I start to learn programming, I learn to use many software at the same time. For instance, what I've learned is working with, at the beginning, with ActionScript that was Flash. That's a very old system you can use in YouTube. This Flash, I learned to use cameras. I learned to use the computer, the microphone, in order to create interactions and do interactive CDs and installations. This is the beginning of my career. Then when I was working with this system, I was working with, for instance, After Effects, because you can go into After Effects and then you can create animations that have users that you can use. The other thing I have done with things is like, as I was evolving my career as a programmer, at the same time I have my career as a big artist and doing creativity things, because I cannot stop to think in that way. I start to connect the dots and technology as a tool to continue doing creative stuff, in order to avoid this idea that, oh, maybe if I'm an artist or I'm working in media, I never will have a job. Or okay. But it was very easy jump into the market because nobody has this skill. And it's a very difficult thing because people say, oh, I don't need to use a computer, I don't want to use a computer in that way, because there is a big gap between only using a software. I will use Photoshop, okay, and create your own Photoshop. This difference make you a better professional, but the possibilities of getting a job and moving around the world explodes. When working in this stuff, in my career, I discovered I need more things. Be working for people in NGOs. I was working with women in technology. I was working with children with autism. I started to work with the same thing, technology and creativity, every single day in my life because I really love it. I did it after many years working. Then I need more information because my career is more like my studies. Initial studies was like media. Then I had to do my master's degree in cognitive science and technology. That this is a little like to know how your brain works in order to create better interactions. In the moment when I start to mix not only technology and creativity, but I start to mix science in this. Now, during my life was like absolutely, because I started to give talks around the world. I have traveled to the States. I have been in Korea. I have started to have clients around the world. People start to call me because now is doing this, and I recommend you do it. Not because I have many years in Spain, and the crisis arrived. You know, the crisis, and everybody of my friends that are artists or working in creativity, we all felt that they cut the grants and the awards and the money that usually artists and creative people use to survive. But I'm working always with technology. I think I have, because not living in London, the only thing I have done in my life is to change my LinkedIn profile. Because in my LinkedIn profile say I live in Barcelona, and I change to I'm living in London. That say I change this because skills are a mix between creativity, technology, programming, I can design. It's very, very powerful with technology and creativity. And I have the control of everything. I started receiving calls every single day. When I moved there, I get a job the morning after I moved there. And a very good job because I work in something called like this is like I work here in London doing design and research and creation of big data interfaces. It's quite complex. It's quite complex because what I'm doing is helping to big corporations use information in a visual way. It is quite they can take decisions easily, and it's all design, all research, all programming, and everything. For instance, I am here at home. It's 9:06 of the morning, and the only thing I have to say to the people I'm working my team is, oh, I have to this web conference with my friends in the European Commission, and I want to talk with these children about this topic. Because there are not many people like me in the market. They say, oh, of course, Leah, do whatever you want. Go work from home. I'm here to drink my coffee. I am with you. I have a lot of freedom. And very important. I mean, I think this is what I really to show you. Like the experience of, because I never thought that something like this can help me. But in the moment I start to program, start to learn to program, change absolutely everything. It's because you stop to be only someone that is receiving technology and you start to create your own technology. This is a huge change in your life because you can create new things. And if you pyramid of the jobs, if you create new things, you're in the top pyramid. And this is very important if you want a career. And it's very flexible, and you can do many things around the world. And your working place is not only in your country. I mean, the world is all yours. And you can, because sometimes people, oh, I can imagine that only I can be in technology or be a programmer, being a programmer. And say, and then start to work on it, you see how it's complex. There are many things that you, in your studies, that you think, oh, I should be studying a little bit more math, for instance. That because nowadays, currently, I have to do some draws. That is on triangles and squares, and it's very beautiful. But I have to work a lot, and I have to see. Oh, I don't remember very well my class of geometry. How is it? And it's because when you start to work in technology, many talks about science and what you do in your school is very important. It's different, make you really powerful as a professional. And I want to show you my ways, then you can see, go through my career a little bit. Okay, my career a little bit, and we can talk. For instance, I have a little project that is called Mapochi. That is, for me, it is the most project which I get more fun. Cool. And let me show you. Let me share my screen.
You got any question to ask? If you want to ask a question, you can write in the chat. Yes. What does that mean?
Okay. I don't know if you can see this little monster here. Okay.
No, yeah. Now we see it.
So, okay, this is a mix between doing art and technology. What I have done here, I work with an artist, and we won a grant from Telefonica R&D. Are little robots, even they don't look like they are robots. And you see these little color stamps in there to me. These are sensors, and these little robots are like little pets that you can squeeze and hug and everything. And based on how you press and you shake the little robot, the to cry, or he start to smile or laugh. It depends how is it. we start to think about this idea, it was always think in our heads about, okay, I want to create something that is like a monster or something like animation or something like this. But say, oh, how we can do it? Because I know how to program a little bit. I mean, I know how to program. Then what I do is I use a little thing that is called Arduino. And Arduino is a very cheap, very cheap. And that you can use maybe 10 euros, 15 euros, very cheap. And with this, I connected to this little dummy, and in order that Arduino can receive the information, and I program how the system reacts, and then I create like a clock based on how the little robot reacts, and you say, okay, now he's checking too much. Then at the beginning it's good fun, and after 1 minute it's boring, and after 2 minutes he's tired, and after 3 minutes he's angry. And this is because of your skills that are very basic. And Arduino is really, really simple. It's not so complex, and you can start to work on it because it's like electronics and like this. You can use some pictures of that working. This is we have in the. This is because it's all about textile, and we create a sensor with it. Yeah, this is the first product. Those are the little. This we start with this, and we mix this. We start with this draw, and this draw we start to iterate and changing until we get this, and then we start to move around. We play the toys, and we mix it. And that's very important because even if we didn't get money because we have done the little robots for my CV, it was amazing because put to everybody they can do complex things with not too much money. And because I can really I know how to use technology in that way. And this based on learning, for instance, like a basic of programming language. That could be any language. For instance, could be PHP, could be JavaScript, could be Java is quite complex, could be ActionScript, could be Node, could anything. Because the most important thing in this case for you is to learn necessarily the language itself. If you have to understand how a computer works, in that you know how the computer works, and you can squeeze and you change it and anything, then you have more freedom in other things, you have more control of things, and even if from here to 20 years in the future, the computers are completely different and everybody's working in virtual reality, but if you know how to program, you know how to program for virtual reality. If you know how to program for a page, you can easily learn how you can program in Arduino. If you know how to program in Arduino, you can easily learn how to program for the Internet of Things, that this is the future. Or you can learn how to program for games. And then this is like a competence, like something that you know that can move around things. And I want to. And this is a little bit that I think is very important to understand, because sometimes you are trying to go to a code classes, and sometimes the teachers they start to do very boring stuff, and say, oh, maybe we can program a math function. It's like, oh my God. If I will probably learn that way when I was young, I would say no, impossible. But because I always learn programming, but on doing creativity, doing like animations, doing like videos, interactive videos, or working with Arduino helped me a lot to understand everything. Yeah, I strongly recommend that you can learn because it gives you a lot of power and control In the job market, freedom is very difficult to find. And the technological skills you have, more freedom you have to say, oh, I don't want to work for you. And then you go out and boom, you change. I don't know, I have friends in Silicon Valley, and they say that it's very deep when you are working for them, and they, oh, I don't like this thing, you say, it's time, I'm over. And then definitely they only have to go outside the building and immediately, boom, get a job. And I say, no, it's not true, but it's something that for me is the same. And then I don't want to continue in Barcelona. I mean, it's sunny and it's good food and everything, but I want to do something new. And okay, I'm going to, where I have to go? Maybe to Hong Kong, maybe to San Francisco, maybe. You know, the world is different, because probably if the things will be very hard, because I don't have this skill, probably have to come back to Peru. And I say, we'll jump to London. Yeah, that's all. I start to work on it, and it's a plain new work, and I really recommend it. Any question, please let me know.
Super wonderful. Well, it's a great story, and I think you showed us that you haven't just been creative. You've been a creator, really, an inventor. You invented something out of really. That's very interesting. Yes, to the people connected, if you have any questions for Lilia, just write it down on the chat. Questions early before asking what applications used at the beginning. I don't know if that was for the teachers actually as a questions, or if that applies to you as well. But maybe it's more what programming languages. Which was the first programming language that you actually learned, which you also would suggest the other ones to take as a first into coding and programming? Even though you said very clearly it's more the mindset behind, not just the technical skills.
Yes, I always recommend, because you can see immediately graphic stuff that is like good fun. No, it's not like trying to, oh, you have to program a store. That's boring. Then the good thing is that you can learn a JavaScript, and that you can use in every single place in the world. You a lot of independence, because you can work from home, and because JavaScript helps you to do the graphs and everything on internet. This is the first thing I would recommend as a bit. Another thing that you can learn is like very simple CSS and HTML, because with these little things, you can be a developer of websites, and you have a lot of possibility in order to, if you want to create your company in the future, or you want to translate into another system, is easier. Then this is the beginning for you in a visual way, like do stuff, graphics, videos, and cool stuff, no? Then the second thing I would recommend is try with Arduino. Doing stuff is like, oh, I have this toy, I want to do this toy, I want to create a lamp, I want to create a robot. I mean, Arduino is very helpful, cheap. That is too.
Thank you for your answer. We got another question from people from a classroom actually. Ask if you need to be an expert, or may also translate it to a genius to learn programming, or if you don't need to be that. And how long would it take to master some of those skills?
You don't need to be a genius, because I'm not a genius. As is important, and many of my friends are not a genius. We are quite nerds. We have to be honest. We like to study. This is very important. I want to say, no, we don't like to study, or we don't like computers, or whatever. Yeah, we really like this. But to do is like more like you have to be confident. And see the trigger of everything was money. I have to be honest. And I saw that I can double my salary is what the things I was needing all my life to start to learn something new. There are many resources that you can start, like Code Academy, Coursera, and things if you want to start. And it is a huge community of people doing things. Even alone in your town or in your home, you can be connected by internet with all these communities around. And in Europe, we have a lot of things to do. Then I always recommend not to go because you are young, and then not go into the boring things because you will lose the what you want to do. Maybe it's the best option is going to communities or developers because they're usually open to everybody, and you can start with very simple things in that you can learn the mindset behind to create a software hardware. And little you can start to work on it, and with it's doing. The best way to learn programming is doing things. Like put you a challenge. I want to lamp at home. I have it at home and I want to, every time I do this, I want this turn off or turn on. This is very simple, but you can do little stuff in Arduino in order to control it. It's very easy, and you can download information from internet. I a lot on it, honestly. Friends.
There's a lot of resources, and there's a big community out there that share information all the time on how to learn basic skills, but also more advanced ones. I think you're receiving a lot of appreciation on the chat, as you may see. So they find your story very interesting, and your job wonderful, actually. So that's important to take note of that. Yeah, the question was, how long did it take to learn coding and programming for you? So until you were able actually to give life to your creations. That's also a question for you. And also, I would add another question for myself. So, what age did you start studying programming?
I start. I think it takes me like 1 year working little projects. I finish say, oh, I can do it and earn money and more complex stuff. It was one doing stuff, but it's a constantly learning process. Because in the moment you learn how to program, it's like how to solve a problem. Okay, I have a problem. I want to create a new coffee machine that I can send a message from my mobile phone, and then the machine prepare my coffee for me every morning. They up and I send coffee and everything. Okay, how I can do it? Okay, it's like this is when you cut a problem into pieces. Start to okay, I have this problem. The first thing I have to do is how I connect my mobile phone with my coffee machine. This is the first problem. Okay, now I have to look what is the best way to do this. This is the mindset that we need when you can programming. They learned like 1 year or 2 years the basic skills, and this you can research by yourself, and then it's easy to prepare. Of course, if you want a job like a programmer, you will program every day, and it will be. It's not that complex, really. It's not that complex at all. And I start when I was 24, probably. No, younger. No, yes, 20. Yes, probably 20 years old. When I was 20 years old, yeah. My ancient time, because I'm almost a dinosaur for internet, and there were class for programming for students, and you have to do a career in computer science before you want to be a programmer or do something with computers. And I really like to do media and photography and creative stuff. I never thought that I want to do a career in computer science. Then I had to learn by myself. Mm-hmm.
So we have questions from at this time. She will tell you.
I think it was once I read. I think it was Garcia Marquez that at some point he discovered computers. You know, Garcia Marquez is a novelist, and he started writing on the computer, and he thought it was wonderful. And he said, oh, had I known that before, I had a computer before, I would have written more novels and they would have been much better, So I cannot imagine what he would have written. Do you think that technology can really improve our creativity in a certain way, or do you think they're just combined?
I really think it's like it can trigger a lot of creativity from you, and you can create almost anything in this moment of your life. I don't think that can control and give boundaries, but it depends how you manage technology, because it's like the same thing. Are you a consumer or you are a creator? If you're a consumer, you spend a lot of money in phones, in iPads, in machines, in telephones, in watches. But a person like me is this is that, and it's like if you are creating technology, I mean, technology is amazing, but if you're consuming technology, it's like consuming TV. That's it on this.
I was, when you create some art or create something with your creativity, imagination, and you give birth to that, you actually make something. If digitally, then you can share it openly with the whole world, basically. Do you feeling that other digital to your creation, you were able to share that with more people and also connect maybe with other person that had the same passion and which we had to work with?
Yeah, and I have finished my master's degree some years ago. I prepared like I prepared like a presentation about my work, because I work with a DJ machine. It's a machine that you can put cues and you can do music and everything. And I use this for people with children with autism, children with disabilities. And I to the States to talk about. At the moment when I arrived there, because I was working with people, but always a little bit, because doing many stuff and whatever. And when I went to the States and I see it's like Africa, and in the States I see like, oh my God, this is huge! How many crazy people play? I mean, there were hundreds of people. And then when I realized that I have to take the right decision in my career, because for me they were very interesting people. I met people from Google, from Facebook, from people doing this stuff and another stuff. He said, doing this, how are you doing that? I mean, it's like, we are still a community, and it's good. And in Europe, there are many like hack labs and spaces open in your you can go there and try to experiment a little bit with them.
And question, how many women are there in your sector, in the technology sector overall, or even when you in place you work?
It's not, there are many, and there are, yes, it's that way. It's usually, I am usually the only woman in the places. When I am, okay, let's go to this hack, whatever, the woman. Let's go to another thing on another way. In for instance, in my job, there are women, but doing technical stuff or doing creativity and technology, I think it's one, and a team of 20. It's something that is sad, because I think very related with people in your family, for me, and family and teachers. And in my life, nobody tell me that I cannot do anything. They says, yes, whatever you want. And it's very important. But some of my friends, they didn't receive this information, and they think, oh, maybe it's too difficult or whatever. but and it's full of guys. And then the most important thing is because and as much money is there, there are less women, and this is something I really recommend. I mean, go there. Don't worry if your robot is not working properly the first time, the second time, the 20 after this, it probably is not working. Normal. Everybody in the same situation. Our robots never work. I want to show my robot. It's dead. And this is normal. That's all. Yeah.
I think there's just very few things that are more fulfilling and exciting as solve a problem actually. So that's perfect for improving our programming coding skills. Sounds great. Do you next? What's your project? Your next steps? Are you planning to move away from London, or are you staying there a while? Creative process in course.
No, I have a project now here in London. It's quite interesting. If I explain it, it's like boring, you know. But because what I'm doing is like doing like a 3D visualization of information for them, and it's like because what like you know that everybody has Facebook, no? We have all Facebook people, but you have Snapchat and you have Instagram and we have Twitter, you know. We have our credit card, or we are going to Amazon or eBay and we bought stuff and we use our phone. And all these systems, they are recording information. What we buy, how long our conversations last, everything. They know everything about us, every single thing. Your Spotify is taking information from you. What do you like? What is your favorite music? And one moment you decide to listen, just I know I won't listen Justin Bieber anymore because he's boring or whatever. Or I want to listen, and that moment is called trends. Okay, it's not like one people, it's like two people, three, it's like million people doing the same. Me, I just decide not to listen anymore Justin Bieber, and then boom, you know, and they research based on all this information that you are by your mobile phone. They have all this information, and it's difficult to understand, even have the information, why you to listen Justin Bieber. For this client is to present this information in a visual way, like an object. And when they start to analyze the why, they say it was this group of girls at this time because this happens on TV, and like not only that I can explain in a verbal way, they can manipulate like say, okay, if you see the information from the perspective of all the girls in England decide to stop to Justin Bieber at the same time because Justin Bieber has a picture from in the magazine that was not very handsome or something. I can connect A and B, and that is the reason. If I see the information from other perspective, that is because the same day he an album and it wasn't good for the critics, I said, oh, it's because this. It's like see the information in a different way is what I'm doing now, but this is all visual. Complex.
But it didn't sound boring at all, actually. It sounds very exciting and interesting project.
Yes, I try to do everything. In this case, we are working 3D, and then let's see what happens. That's
Great. I think I have just a very quick last question, and then we can wrap up. And the question is, for your job, I think you moved far away from your hometown. You keep moving around. I guess I was, at least when I was much younger, afraid to leave my country and my hometown. How did it work with you? Did you like moving around to different countries, and would you suggest people to yeah, at least consider the same possibility, even if they might be scared at the beginning.
Yeah, you're scared at the beginning, and you are terrified because your family and your friends, you are used to eat this thing. You are used to like these movies. You see your people, you know, face in other people, and when you move from one country to another, is the first step is always shocking. Say, oh, I miss my ceviche. Oh, I miss my paella. I miss the blue sky. When I just arrived this morning, I just told the guys that London is so beautiful. It's dark, gray, and rainy. Why here? But like, what motivates me is the challenge and my staff. The family and me, we have like an agreement that I move around the world. And what connects me with other people is that it's not I am the one doing this. A huge community of people working in technology. I have to move around the world because the projects are around the world, and this has two consequences for me. First consequence is like yes, countries too, and Spain, my country, sure. But the war, I have like my big house, and then I can fly to, for instance, in 2 weeks I'm going to Philippines to see friends. And in April I was in South Korea and I saw other friends. And this December I'm going to Peru to see my family. Next year, the conference that usually I usually go is in the States. I'm going to the States to see my friends. I see my friends at all these conferences, all these places, and we are always connected because, thank you, we have internet. Make you always constantly like, at the beginning it's difficult, but then it's like you are the same over and over again around the world, and it's quite exciting. I cannot imagine only living in one place now.
It looks really like you really have driven your life. Oh, we heard a bell ringing. That's very nice. It's a drop in the past. Well, if we don't have any more questions at the moment, we don't. We heard from you some thoughts, and it's great to see that you managed to become a creator and really do what you like, and also earn some good money, as you said, and make your own career a success because of what you did as a passion and what you studied, but also what you studied on yourself as a long life learning process to acquiring those skills that allowed you to make your creations digital. I think it's a great message also what you said, that all of us have but also in a digital world, and we also have to take into consideration the fact that we get a job, and to manage to combine our passion with technology and with the skills that you develop yourself, we can reach great results and achievements, which is wonderful and very supporting.
Thank you very much, Lilia, for the time you took to speak to us and to the teachers and students who are connected and were connected. I think it has been very interesting, and you gave a very, very powerful message.
As we said on the chat also, the recording will be available for all the participants taking part to this event. So you can also take a look again at what we said and what we shared today, and feel free also to share with your colleagues and your peers. And I think that's all for now. It's 11 o'clock, perfectly in time. Thanks for your participation, and of course, a special thanks to Lilia for sharing her issues and experiences with us. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. We want to say goodbye to you. Bye. Bye-bye.
It was great having you all in the webinar.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.